What's up, guys? Welcome to day 2 of the Disposition Challenge. This is my second take on the recording. Guys, it's so cool to have everybody back. What we're going to do today is we're going to dive into disposition, period. My goal is that after today, that you guys are a absolute beast at selling real estate deals. Now, that's either as a JV or as you having the contract. This is going to help you guys out with everything. Okay. So like disposition, if you went through what we went through yesterday in the dispo flow, right? You should have already received the recording, and some of you guys should have already received the homework, right? So everybody here completed that. We've all submitted that. That's great, guys. Remember, each day we're going to give everyone homework, right? And so if you complete the homework, you're entering into a prize where we spin a wheel. And at the end of this challenge, we're giving away 3 AFA accounts on the pro level, a year's worth of Q's membership. And, for the sake of this call, I'm going to be giving away a crap ton of investors. I think it's about 1.7, 1.8 million cash buyers nationwide. All right. So, guys, if you missed the recording, it's already on YouTube. You just search my name, Quentin Flores, and you'll be able to find it. But what we're going to do today, guys, I'm going to educate y'all on how you can sell deals like a pro. Now, everybody at the end of this call, we're gonna create a freaking a checklist of what y'all need. For my checklisters in the building, who here needs a checklist? I think we all do. Just kind of like mark this off, mark this off, mark this off, mark this off. We want to make sure that we have a little bit of everything, right? So, guys, I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna jump into this. So, this is how you can market your deals like an absolute pro. Now, guys, I don't know if y'all know, but we use ChatGPT for all this art. So Alex makes these. Round of applause for Alex because she turned me into the Matrix guy with my contract and with my leads floating in my hand. Don't ask me why, but just the Matrix just seems to be something that we love. And I'm all about helping as many of you guys break out of the matrix and see that there's a better way to do the business, because I don't want y'all to fall into the category like most people in this business where you blow through your whole bag. I mean, let's be real. Who here has fallen into the subscription trap? I think we all have, right? And so, guys, a lot of the stuff I throw out is free. It's part of the game. If it's not free, it's affordable. My main thing for all of you guys that you're able to get the resources and tools that you need to close your first deal where you don't have to break the bank account to do so. So again, this is my segment on how we're going to focus today is on marketing your deals and how to do it like a pro. Okay. So with that being said, I first want to cover this. What is disposition? For everybody here, it's JV contract, it's direct to seller, it's dispoing leads, it's dispo to buyers, it's whatever you think of. But disposition is the act of, and this is the legal term, selling your equitable interest that's invested in a property contract to an end buyer. So, what does that mean? Guys, when you sign a purchase and sale agreement with someone, or even a JV agreement that is over a contract that someone has, well, you get equitable interest. This is an actual verbal term in the real estate dictionary. So equitable interest just means that you have the authority right now to purchase that piece of real estate, which gives you contract, which gives you power. It gives you power over the seller's property. And so what we do as disposition is we're selling our interest in that agreement. Guys, we're not selling the house. The house is a part of the product, but what we're actually selling is the contract. So be careful when you're listing your deals. You cannot be selling the property itself. You have to be mentioning that you are selling your rights and interest that you hold in the contract. So always say assignment of contract deal in your listings and then post the property details. That way the homeowner, oh, not the homeowner, but the buyer understands what type of transaction that it is, because we're not selling the house. We're simply selling our interest that's vested in the house, which is through the contract, right? So again, that's dispo. There are 3 core parts to disposition. We're going to go over them now. Number 1 is advertising the deal that you have under contract in a way that attracts the right investor. Okay. Now, again, what we look for are people who are actually willing to buy. Now, a lot of people utilize private money. I'm one of them, so typically what I need is about 2 to 3 weeks to close, considering that there are a few variables that you can consider when I'm purchasing a property, is I have to get an appraisal. So, just so you guys know, and this is just something that I'm going to add as a bonus, whenever you're dealing with somebody who says that they're a cash buyer, 9 times out of 10, they're not actually buying cash. They're actually borrowing, but the money that they're borrowing is considered cash. right? Because it's not from a institutional loan. So an institutional lender would be somebody like Wells Fargo, Chase, what do you call it? Bank of America, right? So all these different companies, they require specific things for them to utilize their lending products to purchase real estate. A lot of times, guys, these companies, unless you're borrowing conventionally, they only want to lend money on houses that are fully renovated. They don't lend money for fixer uppers. Now, some do, some don't. Some of them have strict regulations in regards to the amount of money they're willing to give you if the property needs a lot of work. But what our goal is to get our appraisal high enough so that when we buy it with hard money, buy it with private financing, buy it with money that we've raised or maybe our fund or whatever capital that we have, we want to make sure that when whoever we sell it to can refinance the property, that they can get their loan amount, right? And so few things that are necessary, right? If you're dealing with a buyer, should always ask, are you using hard money or are you using your own funds, like actual cash? And you want them to be honest, right? It's like, hey, I know you can say cash, but cash can mean a lot of things. I just want to confirm, is this real cash or are you borrowing to buy the house? Reason why is because I want to make sure that I'm structuring myself so that this deal gets to the closing table. What a lot of buyers don't do, and this is me just being honest, there's a reason that buyers pay you guys 10, 15, $20,000 per property. There's a reason for that. It's because most investors are freaking lazy, dude. That's just the reality of it. They don't want to find the houses. They just want to pay you to find them. And then they incorporate their assignment. You incorporate your assignment fee into the deal, and then they buy you out of the deal. But they don't tell you about all the things that their lender needs, which could make it longer time frame for you to close. If you are dealing with a buyer who is borrowing money to purchase a piece of real estate, you're going to need an appraisal for the house. That's number one. You're going to need a general contractor bid for the property. That's number two. You're also going to need a survey for the house, which is number three. Okay, so again, why are these things important? Because the bid's going to tell you what most people will do is when they get the property appraised, it's either called a desktop appraisal or like comping, really. Appraisal is going to be a little bit different. You take the rehab bid and you hand it off to the appraiser. If the rehab bid says that this is going to happen, the rehab bid, right? Not rehab bid, it's not one word, it's rehab bid. So for my people that don't know, it's just a repair cost estimate on the house. If you get a detailed outline of what you're going to do, right? If we're going to be walking through a property, I'll kind of just walk you through my house real fast, right? So obviously my crib comes with utilities. It comes with a sink, like a kind of like a stovetop like this. And if you look at the countertops, it's granite countertops. We start adding all of those things. We say, hey, well, what else can we do to raise volume, raise the value of the property, right? Let's say we're going to add the little siding at the top. I added that myself up top. I wanted to put it at the bottom of the house and I wanted to put it at the top because it creates a better aesthetic of the overall flow of my house, right? And so, guys, what am I saying is that I'm trying to figure out a way to add things to the repair bid so that I can get the appraisal as high as possible. Because if the appraisal comes back at where I need it to come back, the lender, the hard money lender, is going to lend me 75% of that amount of money. I'm speaking from an investor term. Why? It's because as a wholesaler, you should know these things. If you don't know these things, you're leaving too much room for error in your business. If you could just think like an investor, you could get a lot more properties under contract. Now, again, why am I mentioning all of these things? Because the appraised value of the house is going to dictate how much the buyer is going to get for their loan to renovate the property, which most hard money lenders, most companies that do financing, private financing, whether you're doing like an institutionalized loan where somebody's taking somebody else's money and reselling it to you, they're going to lend you 75 cents on the dollar, sometimes 80% on the dollar for that house. So if my appraisal is $100,000 after doing all the work to the property, that person will lend me 80 grand for that house. That's to buy it and rehab it so I can make my 20%, 30% ROI on the back end. Now, again, all of these things are requirements for your investor to be able to purchase that property utilizing hard money, right? And so, guys, I want to educate y'all on that. If y'all don't know that, that's something that you really gain from experience that I'm giving to y'all on a recorded line. Now, going back into this, right? We're advertising the deals that we want under contract to the right person who's going to purchase our house. There's multiple different types of buyers. We'll kind of get into that here in a little bit. But the second piece of this, which is very important, is ensuring that while we're doing this, we're creating a network. So, guys, T's been selling real estate deals with my company, and she's amazing. So, obviously, if you guys need help selling a deal, T can help you in a lot of ways other than just what we're using, because I'm obviously giving you guys the platform to do this. But if you need help, we have an elite account, we have a pro account, we can sell the deals for you. So with that being said, make sure you reach out to T. So T got a hold of somebody yesterday, and that person and I, we had a really big conversation in regards to just opportunity, seeing what we could do. But what I loved about T's approach with this person was we originally reached out to him because we were trying to sell him a deal. So T texted that buyer directly, called that buyer directly, and just had a great conversation. And just so happens that the person lives out there in Houston and buys pretty actively 6 to 7 properties over the last 7 to 8 months. So this guy's super cool. We've been talking to him. And he's talking about wanting to partner with us, learn from us, even join this community. So, guys, I mean, this is how crazy this can get. So our goal here is to create and maintain a network of people that are investing in the properties that we have under contract, but also that they're able to trust that our deals are deals in that process. Okay. Now, then moving into the third piece here is understanding the product. This is this part, the part that I was talking about at the beginning, knowing your numbers, knowing if your deal has potential, so that you can communicate the value. Guys, it's imperative that you know your product, man. I hate to say this, we go back to the days when Q was doing what he was doing. Man, I was so good at slanging green back in the day. Boy, I knew they all had crazy names. I had some stuff called We Shouldn't Do This. I have another strain of stuff called This Is Crazy. I had another one called Mind Rape. There were all these different types that I knew from the top of my head that were great because I had the product. Who remembers sour diesel, man? That right there. If you tried that in the early 2000s, like mid 2000s, bro, that okay. We're going to the moon. We're canceling the rest of our day. Again, we all have a BC. That was my before Christ. All right. So going back into this, right? You got to know your product like you slanging dope, my guy. Come on, dude. Because dope, why? This is a terminology that we use in the game. Dope sells itself. Dope sells itself. So if your deal is good, then everybody's going to come back to it. That's what's crazy about it is it reciprocates value. Remember this, and it's biblical. I hate to pivot from, slang into biblical, but a tree is known by the fruit it bears. A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. Let me get an amen in the comments, right? And so, guys, if all you're pushing are crap deals, then nobody's going to reply to you because you're going to be known for the fruit that your tree is bearing. So it's imperative that during this dispo process that if you lock up a deal, you know that you can move it, especially because the seller's depending on you. The last thing that you want to do is let two people down. And that sucks, right? And so, guys, the disposition has a process, and I'm going to go over this for all of you that are here. Number one, investor to company relations. So, this is building your relationship with your buyer. Number two, that's feedback from whoever put the property under contract. So if you're working with a JV partner, that's going to help you guys out tremendously. Number three, negotiation with the maximum amount of profit. Number four, making sure that you're finding investors, motivated buyers that are wanting to build their portfolio. Number five, creating your Rolodex. This is your list of buyers. Man, for me, dude, it's so imperative that we always talk about this because building buyers is one of the most valuable things that you can do. Guys, I don't know if y'all are in my group, Dispo Labs, but that's a free group. Alex, if you can drop that link, all we talk about in that group is dispo. So if you're struggling for disposition, you want to be a part of a free community, you're more than welcome to join. We have over 400 members, and all we do is move deals. All right. So again, if you're struggling with the dispo process, you're looking for some free advice with some support, we even have a concierge dispo service inside where we can sell your deals for you. So again, Dispo Labs is the name of the group. It's on school. It's free to join. I'd love to have you guys. And then number six is the execution of the assignment. So again, from this point, we're signing contracts and we're forwarding everything over to the title company. And again, once a deal closes, we create the relation. It goes right back from one to two again. So again, investor title relationships, feedback from acquisition, which is the person who has the property under contract. We're in that process now. T is my witness. We're in that process now. We got an offer for a property that we got in Beaumont for 90 grand, but our wholesaler has it at 94 and he over contracted. So we're trying to get all of those houses at 85 so we can make some money on this, at least $5,000 per property, right? So guys, it's the feedback that we give them. At this point, it goes into negotiation. If we can't find somebody with the guy that we sold it to, then we're going to try to find another buyer. If we can't find another buyer, then we go back to the drawing board on what it is that we have under contract. We create our Rolodex, we execute our assignments, and it goes right back into the beginning again. So this is your dispo flow process. It's powerful, right? So what does this look like? How should you be presenting your deals? This is so important for everybody on this call. Please screenshot this, okay? This is what you want to have access to. It's imperative. Think of how Zillow sells properties. Go to any listing on Zillow and look at all the details. Look at all of them. If you go to Zillow right now and you type in fixer upper, or you type in foreclosure, you type in investor special, it's going to pull up a bunch of different listings, right? But what we look for are leads that are like this. Apologize for spelling Jacksonville wrong, but again, this 123 Main Street, 123 Betts 15, Jacksonville, Florida, 33,210, right? 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. We want our asking price in there. You don't have to mention the assignment. We want the ARV estimated. You can even print a comp report and add that to this if you'd like. Estimated repairs. If you get a rehab bid, that's even better because it's solidified numbers and you're helping the contractor get business this way. So everybody hits. And then you have the projected revenue that the investor can make based on these numbers here. Obviously, these are gross. We're not accounting for fees that the investor might have if they are not cash, right? And so then you have your name, your phone number, your email. This is pro marketing. This is what you guys need when you sell a real estate deal. It needs to be clean, needs to be professional, needs to have everything that you need. All right. So, again, good packaging tells your buyers that you're serious and that you'll make the transaction smooth. Any details in regards to access, appointment setting, all of that needs to be in your listing. This saves so much time for your investors that you reach out to. Another thing too, man, include, like I said, repair estimates, include comps if you can. In PropStream, Batch Leads, Propelio, any of these platforms, guys, all of them have the option here to print a comp report and add it to your listing. So make sure that you have consistency when you present a deal, right? Because investors buy from people that they trust. Trust is built faster when you look like a pro, even before speaking to you. So I always make sure that I include everything in my listing. Now, here we have the example of what this looks like. All right. Now, again, going into this, investors buy confidence as much as they buy numbers. So a property with solid numbers can still get ignored if it looks unorganized or sloppy. Guys, I can't stand when people rip internet photos from Google, right? Like who has seen who's buying, by the way? I want to know. How many of you guys inside of this community are actual buyers? I'll raise my hand. Drop a one in the comments if that's you. Like, I actually buy. I'm pretty sure I have some people here that actually buy, right? How many of y'all get these listings that people send you and they're using Google Photos, man? Honest feedback from somebody in here that's buying. What do you look for when you're looking at a deal? Dwayne, Mr. Kidman, bro, if you can, as an investor, can I love to bring you on stage for just a moment, if you don't mind, kind of go over what you look for when you're being presented with a deal. Do you mind, as if we were to get like honest feedback from you? And I
Hey,
appreciate it, man. Thank you for joining.
yeah, no problem, man. No problem. You hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you perfect.
Cool. Okay. So, obviously the numbers got to make sense, right? I don't need a blown up ARV. I don't need ultra conservative repair estimates. Those are two things I look at. How many photos do they have? It shows me if they've been in the house or if they're just pulling, like you said, pulling stuff off Google or whatever. So, if they have full photos, um, if the house is local, can I have access to it? It shows me what kind of relationship they have with the sellers.
Hmm.
If I have immediate access, stuff like that. And if I do walk the property, I want to know that the pictures weren't hiding stuff,
Yeah.
right? Show me the bad stuff because that's what I need to base my repair pricing on. So if you're going to take pictures, show me the stuff that I need to know. Show me all the bad stuff. I don't need to look at the good stuff. Does that make
Yep.
sense?
I've seen a lot of people fluff these numbers, man. And that happens a lot. It's honestly gives a bad taste in what we do on our side as people who are supposed to be underwriting deals for investors. But man, I appreciate you, Mr. Kidman, coming up and letting people know what you look for. It's important that we match that. And real quick for everybody in here, because you're in a room of a bunch of people who are wholesaling, where do you buy properties so that people can send you deals?
So mainly in Texas, I focus on Tarrant County, Johnson County, Parker County on the west side of Dallas Fort Worth area.
Nice, man. Nice. What about Arlington? Are you entertaining anything
Yeah,
down?
that's it. That's part of Tarrant County. So yeah,
Okay,
definitely
perfect.
Arlington. Yeah, Arlington is is a good rental place, especially if you can get inside the entertainment district, because then you can start doing a lot of Airbnbs in that area.
That's
Those are,
amazing.
yeah, those are hard to come by there. But yeah, if you can get one of those deals, and I know a lot of houses there that people are sitting on that are falling apart, man. And I've been trying to get on those, but they're not moving. They're not willing to move because they know what they got a gold mine.
Man, dude, I really appreciate you coming up. An investor, guys, come on. A round of applause for my guy, Mr. Kidman here. Dude, thank you, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and unpin you, my friend.
Sure.
So, guys, you just got real honest feedback from someone who is an active real estate investor in Tarrant County, Dallas Fort Worth area. So, if anybody here is in Dallas, you already have somebody that you can send deals to. But, like my guy just said, make sure you don't send trash. Just be honest. That's what investors look for. If you looked at what Kidman was saying, I mean, it was straightforward, right? It's just we want honesty. Show me what the bad stuff is. Don't try to fluff it and make me look at the good stuff. Show me the crap because that's what I'm buying, right? I need to know what's actually wrong with this home. You don't have to trick me into buying it. I want to make an offer, period. Because worst case scenario, I'll tell you what Kidman will do. I'll tell you what he's willing to pay for it. So at least you have the offer, right? Now you can go back to the seller, point out the things that Mr. Kidman was saying, right? If Mr. Kidman say, all right, well, look, the foundation was a little bit more than what you said it was, right? We're looking at maybe 18 piers that got to be readjusted underneath the ground. There's leaks in the roof, so I know that the roof needs to be replaced. If you look at the leaks that are coming through the drywall that's on the ceiling, then you'll know for a fact that there are things like that that need to be addressed. So I'm gonna have to replace the roof too. So we're looking at like another $17,000 in rehab that I wasn't accounting for. So what I would like you to do, I'm gonna make this offer. If you can make it happen with the seller, right? Go back with the seller and renegotiate so that we can make a deal happen. And I'm positive Kim will come back and he'll buy more of them, right? So, man, this is just a beautiful thing, guys. We have a real investor on the call right now, and that is awesome. So, again, presentation matters, y'all. You don't want things to be unorganized and sloppy. You don't want numbers to be fluffed. Every single thing that you send out is their first impression of what a deal could be. All right. So, again, two wholesalers can send the same deal. One sends one with blurry pictures and a text and a Facebook DM. The other one sends a branded PDF with high quality photos, comps, and a clear ROI table and maybe even timeline, right? The second person will get more calls even if their price is simply a little bit higher because presentation just so happens to be there. So, again, guys, this business is about the relationship. Now, I wanted to create this. Well, first and foremost, let me go back to that. Holy crap, I have not seen that one, dude. I need a barber that can really line me up like that. Anyways, going back to this, y'all. There are four different types of buyers. Please screenshot this, okay? Screenshot this. This is very important for everybody here to know. Now, a lot of investors buy at different criteria, but I like to categorize them to give you guys a general idea of what this looks like. Now, number one, these people are what I would call buy and hold investors. These types of buyers like to think long term. So they hold on to the property for a couple of years to make more monthly income and then refinance when the equity gets a little bit higher. Now, whenever somebody's purchasing properties as a buy and hold investment, what we're looking at there is that they're buying long term. What does that mean? So every single year, that property appreciates in value. Right now in Texas, properties are appreciating anywhere between 7 and 18%. That's across the board in the state. Okay. That's crazy, right? I'll tell you from experience, this house that I'm living in, I purchased this house for $278,000 back in 2020, and it's worth 580 now. That's how crazy it's getting. And it's barely been 5 years, and my house has already increased almost 100% in value. So, guys, that's not normal, but that's happening right now. So my mortgage payments is through the roof because the value of my house in this area being well sought after, people are going after them. But a buy and hold investor doesn't care to make a bunch of money up front. What they're looking for is replacing their income. So most people that I meet that buy properties for rental purposes, they're either like some form of practitioner, maybe they have like a specific 9 to 5 that they've been dedicated to. I'll give you guys an example. So there's a company that I used to be in mentorship with. It was called Lifestyles Unlimited. I was the youngest guy there. Now, these guys buy, by the way. So if you Google your area and type in Lifestyles Unlimited, you can reach out to a realtor. You can never talk to the investors directly. You'll be banned from the organization for life. But if you reach out to the realtor that represents the company, because Lifestyles Unlimited is a brokerage, the agents that work underneath this coaching program are all trained to work with wholesalers or retail listing agents to help their investor pool buy rental properties. Again, type in the name of your city, type in Lifestyles Unlimited office near me, and you can get a hold of a realtor and they can educate you on what their investors look for. When I went to this class, I sat in the back of this room. This is the first real estate seminar I ever walked in. I spent $500 for the weekend class, and I didn't know what they were talking about. It was hieroglyphics to me at the time. They called me a purple Martian because when the leader of it, his name's David Fisher, he's one of the head coaches, he's one of my first mentors. He walked up to me during the seminar and he said, you know, what's the most important part of the house? I said the AC unit because I was 400 pounds and your boy ain't trying to sweat while he's in a crib, right? But truthfully, the main important part of a house is the foundation, right? So he called me a purple Martian. Now that's fine. You know, it's just a funny way to get people engaged in the conversation. David is a phenomenal coach, but the membership levels at this coaching program were like way beyond my budget. And I heard they're more expensive now. I think minimum is like 10 grand to be a part of the program. It's crazy. So, like, you know, coaching, mentorship, we all want it. Some people can't afford it. I try to give it out to you guys as low as I possibly can. So going into this, when I sat in the back of this classroom, dude, there was like people in there that were buying properties and they were all doctors, attorneys, lawyers. They were freaking, you know, like construction people. They were dentists. They were psychologists that have done their practitioner for 50 plus years, 20 years. They were all older than me. You know, I think they were all like in their late 50s, early 60s, looking to retire early, right? And so how do you do that? You do that by buying properties that pays you in passive income every single month while building equity over time to leave something behind for your kids that may be even larger than a life insurance plan, which is crazy. But yeah, this is where I first learned the business. I didn't even know about wholesaling. This is where I started. Now, these guys did not care to make equity. They cared to make passive income. So they bought very high. Some of my first deals I wholesaled to this organization and they were so tight, man. Like I felt like every investor that was flipping just kept shunning them and throwing them away. But when I sent it to a buy and hold investor, man, they were looking at it like, okay, this house can make me 30, 40, like maybe like a 30, 40% return on my money within the next, I don't know, 5 years. And I can also cash flow $300 to $500 a month, which would replace some of my income that I'm trying to make annually at my job. Come on, guys. If you were making $10,000 a month in passive income, how many of y'all could quit your job right now? That's retirement. That's true retirement. And so most people that I meet that buy and hold, now I like to buy and hold and I like to buy with equity. Most people that I meet that like to buy and hold, they don't care for equity. They care for the income replacing. They want the cash flow. That's what they want. And they'll build equity over time. If anything, they'll force equity over time by adding value to the house. So these guys love to buy properties. That's your first type of buyer. The buy and hold investor is probably going to be where you're going to make the biggest bang for your buck on the majority of the wholesale deals that you find. A lot of them exercise the BRRRR method, which is when you buy a property and you borrow money to buy it, you rehab it with the money that you borrowed, and then you refinance it into like a conventional loan to pop your equity. You get all your money back. It's called a cash on cash return. We can go over all that on probably like a numbers case study. How many of you guys would want to learn how to underwrite deals? Maybe doing different types of methods, right? We could do cash on cash, we could do cap rates, we can underwrite some rental properties and what we can see and kind of go over those different types of equations. Man, if you're wanting to want me to do a class like that, I'd love to do it. Drop a one in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. We can schedule that. I have so many announcements at the end of this call because tomorrow's going to be bonkers, but next week's going to be even more insane. I have a big, big announcement on day three, so kind of be ready for it. Now, going into this, right, your second type of buyer, these are guys that typically buy between 65 and 75%. They don't you don't really get a lot of money in selling the property, but you do it fast because these guys are cash. So these dudes want to buy low and sell high. It's typical. It's flipping, right? And so guys, you could flip a property all day. You could sell a property to a flipper all day and make a quick buck and get your seller out of their situation as fast as humanly possible. I like selling to flippers, man. The flippers typically lowball, and that's fine as well. Now, if you got number three, you're a big baller. You are like, what is it? What does Kong say? How you trying to be a baller when you ain't got no dollar? But that's real, right? So hedge fund buyers are crazy. If you are lucky enough to find someone who represents a hedge fund, my friend, you are solid. Now, I hate to say this because most hedge fund buyers, like a lot of them are legit, but some of them are just washing money. They're like a bunch of millionaires that are putting a fund together of money that has to be paid off in taxes, and they represent a giant amount of money. And so one person is typically in charge of allocating those funds to make them tax free, right? So like again, it's a lot of money being dumped that should go to the IRS, but billionaires and I'd say the top 1% of the top 1%, they put together these giant funds where they just go in and they buy these properties cash and they don't care. They don't care. They just buy. I've had one in my whole career, and I didn't know it, but it was one of my first mentors. And he bought all my houses from 2017 to 2018, paying anywhere between 20 to 50K in assignment fees on deals that were stupid. I mean, I think I sent him a deal that, I mean, I would have sold it to a flipper for 20 grand. It was such a trash house. And if I'm being honest with you guys, that's how crazy it got. He paid 50K for that property assignment fee, and it was probably worth less than $70,000. He didn't care. I don't know what he was doing, but he just didn't care. So, guys, finding hedge fund buyers, most of these dudes are trying to offset the amount of money that they pay in taxes or clean money, in multitude types of ways by washing it through real estate. That's typically a hedge fund. If you find one of those, you are a god among men, my friend. You have something that is very valuable, and everybody should send you their deals because more than likely you can move them. Then you have what I call creative buyers. Now, some people that I meet, they like to buy properties, but they buy properties in a creative way. Now, what does this look like? Right? Let me give you guys an example. So, how can I say this? So I have a buddy of mine that likes to buy creative finance deals. If I can structure them, I'll offer them. So if I structure them, I'll offer them. Right. So a lot of times we'll say, like, I have a buddy of mine, let's say it's Kelly, right? So Kelly's been a part of the program. Let's say she likes to buy rental properties in a specific way. Well, she likes to take over other people's mortgages, right? And so she tells me that her maximum output on cash per rental property that she buys this creative way is 30 grand. That's it. 30 grand and that's it. And so I say, okay. So I find somebody who's willing to allow Kelly to take over their mortgage for 10 grand. Right. And so now I can tack on a $20,000 fee because Kelly's willing to spend 30 for it. Right. So 10 goes to the seller, 20 goes to me. Kelly gets her property. Easy money. But it's a creative deal because we structured a subject to deal where Kelly's going to step in as me and take over the mortgage of that property. So again, you can sell creative finance deals if you know how to structure them. That's going to require a whole class. There's no way I can teach that right now, but that is, I'd say, makes up almost 70% of Q's business, y'all. I structure creative finance deals and I sell them. I sometimes will sell notes to properties. I'll structure a freaking multi-family deal and place myself in the equity of the deal, wholesale it, and collect passive income for the next 5 years of my life. That's how crazy that this part of the business can get. If you know how to do creative finance structures, this stuff helps amazingly. We go over this inside of the cheat code, guys. So if y'all are interested in that, guys, I mean, when I talk about creative finance, it's more than just financing properties and selling deals like creatively. It's a lot of also removing debt, right? So, like, guys, I have a contract in my assignment that says that if there is a difference in amount of money, that it's added to the assignment fee. So, a lot of times I'll put a property under contract and I know that there's a judgment against it. Well, this seller can't sell the property without me. And so I'll sue that debtor to remove the judgment from the property, send them a certified letter. If I remove that $50,000 judgment, my seller's still making 20 grand and I just added $50,000 to the bottom line of my deal. So I'd increase my assignment fee 50 grand just from removing debt, and that debt that was removed gets paid out to me. I can even kick up the seller's profits and say, hey, I removed a $54,000 lien against your home. I'm willing to give you $10,000 more. In exchange, you'll be able to sell this house. I'll add $40,000 of that debt removal into my assignment fee. So now you're making $10,000 more. Otherwise, that you wouldn't have made any more money. You would have had to pay and zero out that debt, period. So me coming in and removing debt allows for me to add more to my assignment fees. So I know that sounds crazy. That's a whole nother strategy. We can talk about that in the cheat code side. Alex, if you're in the group, for all of you people that are interested in joining the cheat code community, it's 25 bucks for everybody a part of the challenge today. And she's dropping in the comment section. So get your butt in there. If you upgrade to the annual, it's $200 for the year. That's a freaking no-brainer, man. So guys, those are different types of deals that you can structure as you progress, right? So creative buyers, 4 different types. Everybody screenshot this, all right? Screenshot it. And I'll have time for questions toward the end of this call. I know this is a lot to go over. How do we prioritize them? Well, number one, we want to buyer prioritize. Let me go back so you guys can screenshot. Everybody screenshot just so you got it. All right. Everybody good? Okay. Going once, going twice, and we're moving on. We like to prioritize our buyers. I don't know about y'all, but I do. Right. So, like, to me, you need them in buckets. So I'll separate them on like a spreadsheet, or I'll separate them inside of my CRM. The ones that are priority, these guys buy houses from me all the time. So I send them everything first. The ones that are niche, well, these guys buy creative. They buy terms, so like I'll send specific types of deals to specific types of people. And then you have what's called window buyers. Now, these are people that aren't really serious, but they might respond to a lead here or there. I keep them in a bucket because to me they're just window shopping. Sometimes it's just a wholesaler trying to wholesale your deal. It's fine. It happens, right? But I like talking to investors too. But a lot of times, a lot of people very picky on what they buy. So I call them window shoppers, window buyers. These are people that are buying, but they're not buying all of the time, right? So, guys, I think that this is important. My main thing here is I want to show you guys how you can blast your deals. Now, you can do this in multitudes of ways. The way I do it is a little bit different, but you can also do this utilizing offa.com, which I think I shared the link for everybody that is here. You all get it for free. Alex, if you can, drop the link inside of the comment section. Now, I like using multiple things. Number one, I'll use Jarvis. So, Jarvis, I can send deals out to my cash buyers via text message and email, which is okay. That's more direct to marketing. If you utilize Offa brings buyers to you that are most likely to buy. It's like a matchmaking thing. Okay. It's like Tinder. So, again, that's Jarvis, right? Second place is Facebook groups. So, when we sell our deals, we typically join like a local real estate investor association and we connect with people that are actually buying. So we're going to list them on Facebook. Now, this is my thing. Listing them on Offa helps you guys out because it's free to use, get buyers instantly almost, and you get 3 buyers per deal, which is super cool. This is, in my opinion, the number one tool that's on the market right now. So, guys, what does this look like, right? So, what you're looking at right here are people that are interested. Okay, you have the buyer's name, which are all located here. You have the status of the property. We contact them, it gets marked. You have the current price. If you're listing a house, it's here. They offer something, this number will change. If you have the next discount, right, you can send a discount for your property if you'd like, or you can receive offers and you can view their contact details as you progress. Tracking responses is very important. So I think I gave everybody a dispo tracker, right? Now, guys, you can log every interaction, record when a buyer is interested, maybe if they're sending like a counter offer or if they're following up in real time. You can tag for future leads. You can mark buyers who passed on the deal, or you can target them later with properties that fit their criteria. But in essence, what I'm saying is that you just got to maximize what you have. So if you don't have the budget for premium tools, well, you can still run your dispo process inside of the tracker that we gave you. Now, guys, this is your checklist. Everybody screenshot this. We're going to send a copy to everybody, but I want y'all to have this. This is how you should be doing it. Anytime you're going to sell a deal, this is what we need. All right. And so, guys, again, property address, subdivision area, year built, bed and bathroom count, living space based on square footage, lot square footage, dimensions of the lot that the property stands on, repairs that are needed, foundation, roof, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. We call these things the big five. All right. These big five, like they cost a lot to fix. You need the contract price. If you want to share that, you can. You don't have to. But as somebody who's doing a JV, I always ask for a copy of the contract because a lot of these guys out here say they have a property under contract, but they're not direct to seller. They have a JV deal. So I ask for a copy of the contract. Sometimes your buyer is going to request that. It's okay to be transparent. You can block out the contract price if you feel that salty about it. You need the ARV and you need comps after the rehab, right? So again, after rehab comps is your after rehab value. What you feel this property will sell for if you do this amount of rehab. Occupancy or access. Is the house vacant or how do we gain access? Is it by appointment only? Do we have to reach out to this person? Can we drive up to the property and walk around? If there is a seller that lives there or a tenant, what are the notations of that person and the expectations that they have for this deal? Then photos and videos. Bro, you want all the photos, all the videos. The more photos, the more videos that you got, the easier that it is to sell the deal. Like I hate to say this, guys, but you gotta 0.5 your phone, zoom it all the way the freak out, and start taking photos of everything from inside and out, all the major things that are wrong. Point blank pictures of everything that is ugly. Video walkthrough would be beneficial, So right now, I think we all have cell phones with cameras on them. Walk through the whole freaking property and take videos of everything. It's imperative that you guys know this part, okay? Now, step two, when we advertise the property, we can either utilize templates or we can sell the deals in multiple different types of ways, either on Jarvis or to our people, our priorities, or our niche. You can do this in multiple different types of ways. Jarvis comes jam-packed with pre-email templates to sell real estate deals. I can kind of go into that actually for just a second. There's also SMS templates you can create inside of Jarvis to sell real estate deals as well if you're texting the property. I'll probably go over that on another call because we're already getting close to time here. Now, when you advertise a property, again, this is how I like to do it. This is very important. Joining real estate groups. You can post and share property details. You can browse the comments to check for their emails, see if you can add them onto your buyers list and cold reach out to them. Again, like to me, you just got to be careful. Don't spam properties on Facebook groups. You'll freaking get banned. You know what I'm saying? So kind of be careful with that. Once you sign a contract, this is something that I think that's important. Contract signing with the end buyer. From this point, you can coordinate with whoever's a part of your business. If it's you handling all these roles, and that's you, on how to view the property. When you got somebody who's interested, you present them with the assignment of contract agreement. Once the seller signs, we get a non-refundable earnest money deposit. Again, this is in the contract. I do a minimum 2,500. You guys can do five, whatever you want. If they back out of the deal, that's your money. Okay. But again, that's held at the title company. So once the buyer signs the agreement, they submit the deposit, you send it off to the title company. At this point, toward I think probably a week after this, your seller should be purchasing this property and close. Your buyer should be purchasing this property and closing. So you can update everything, the SDA, the tracker, whatever it is that you're using. You can kind of just add all of that info there and then track the amount of money that you're making. All right. So, guys, this is the whole dispo process from A to Z. Everything that you guys need to do to get this thing rocking and rolling. Does everybody understand what needs to be done? Like, guys, this is already fire. Okay. Now I want to walk y'all through this right now. I know a lot of y'all probably asking, well, how do you list a property on Offa? Guys, it's free. I hate to say it. I wish there was more, but it's so easy to do, right? So let me just kind of like share my screen real quick. We're gonna log in to Offa right now. We're gonna just again, we're just gonna dump a property in there real fast. So let's jump in, offa.com. Your login credentials are your phone number. This is it. So you guys can, I mean, if you're a buyer and you have an account like this, you can actually go in and see all the houses that are located in each individual area. As you can tell, I think I'm responsible for the 60 plus listings in Texas. Our goal is to have over 1,000 listings here. Now, Florida seems to be such a really big market, but you can kind of see where there's traction based on listings and what people are signing up for, right? So again, guys, this is all based on the free account. My goal is that we have a property listed in every single state. If you guys can help me out with that, man, I'll love y'all tremendously. So then how does this work? This is where you can look at things. Obviously, if you want, you can kind of filter through what property that you're looking for: house, condo, mobile, multifamily, townhome, farm, maybe land. You can look at the bed to bathroom ratio, kind of go through whatever it is that you're looking for to see all these properties that are within that criteria. But if we wanted to, we can also click here where it says sell a property. Now, first and foremost, let's go to the dashboard. So right now, my company, I got two properties that I'm selling, right? So you guys can actually visit the link to the property here. If I click on visit, you can see what the listing looks like. So this is one of our houses. I believe this is the property that we got in Beaumont. Let's let it load. I'll let it do its thing while it's doing that. Kind of scroll down. We have 14 people that viewed the house, 7 people that are interested in buying. We have 2 that have been converted for AI. So we've gotten a hold of somebody. This is that house where we found a buyer the other day that's interested. This is a novation deal that we have listed in Arizona for 1.3 million. This has 10 views, 5 people that are interested. AI converted 2 of them. Now, again, as you go into the listing, you can see some of the details on the house. Well, it's taking forever to load, so we'll just kind of go over this another time. But again, these are all of our active listings. These are 2 of the properties that we have under contract for our company. You can list as many properties as you want. You get 3 buyers per property no matter what. And if you upgrade to premium, you get unlimited buyers. So they'll keep blasting your deal out until you sell it. All right. So, guys, they're actually reaching out to investors and bringing them to you, which is super cool. Now, how does this work exactly? Now, if I click on sell a property here, or I'm sorry, sell a deal, right? Here, let me refresh real quick. Let me go back to .com. My internet good, guys? I don't know if it's being a little choppy or if it's lagging. Here, let me go back. Weird. Why is it not working right now? I hope I'm not having a freaking internet outage because that would suck. Okay, there we go. So click on sell a deal, list your property for free, blast for 500% more buyer visibility. So then let me just go ahead and type one of my houses that I flipped before. So we'll say, hmm, I think I got one. Let's run it. We'll do 51. This is one of my rental properties. So we'll do 5103 Cinderella, San Antonio. So then from here, we'll select next. This is it. So at this point, guys, this is all you got to do to sell a house, which is pretty cool. We select what photos that we want to upload. So I'm just going to pick all of them. So starting from the front of the house, we'll just select all, open. There we go. Look at that. Well, that was easy. We can drag and drop them too, I believe, to where we want. We want the cover photo to be the front of the house. And then listing price, we'll say, I don't know, 156,000. And then our estimated ARV, we're going to say 250,000. And then property location, we want to add this. It's a house. Property details. This is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. Square footage is 1,700, and then the year built was 1976. Okay. So by not offering commission, Offer will present this deal to realtors. We don't need no realtor commission. We're fine. And then the property description of the house. So at this point, guys, we can add all of the details that we want for the home, right? So this is where we can do like property is located in a well desired neighborhood for cash flow and equity. House needs 26,000 in work. Again, you can add whatever details that you guys like. Like at this point, I'm just kind of like spitballing it. I haven't been inside the house in years. I just collect, right? So from this point, guys, this is how easy that it is. So we've already dragged and dropped everything, and we will add all of our stuff. Remember, be as detailed as possible. You guys can highlight things if you want. Like kind of make it a little bit more presentable, and then post your property deal. So it's submitting your property now. And that's it. So from this point, now there's a link, right? So if I wanted to, I can sell it on Facebook, on YouTube, I can post it to TikTok, I can post it to Instagram. And that's it, y'all. Like now we have a deal that we're trying to sell on Offa. So from this point, guys, about 24 hours, you'll start receiving text message responses to your account. They will text you when a buyer has viewed your deal. They send out text messages to people who are most likely to buy in the area. And essentially, what they'll do is they'll ping them. If they open up the message or reply to the message that they've received, you'll be notified directly to your phone that you have a buyer that's interested. Then they'll share all the people that are interested in that deal with you, right? So let me just kind of show you. We click on view buyers here. This is what it looks like. So you have all of this. You can export all of these buyers to CSV so that you have them. You can view their information as well. So they give you their phone number, their email, and again, like if we can leave feedback. So just read the message but no response. So we're going to list this buyer as a 1 star. But as we go in and we kind of come and we look at some of these things, right? People that are viewing, we can look at more feedback from each individual person. So selecting like this person here sent an offer for 128. This person here sent an offer for 29. So again, like we're getting people that are interested, right? And that's the cool part about this is that we just contact them and reach out to them because they give us all the information. Now, again, you can download this, export all of your leads that you got in the results, and then you can literally take a look at it in like a separate screen. Take a look. So this is all our buyers that we have for this area. Worst case scenario, they might not buy this one, but we can at least add them to our Rolodex, try to see if they're willing to buy a property later, right? So guys, this is what's so awesome about this is that it's all at a click of a button. Come on. Was that not easy? Like that's got to be the easiest thing I've ever done is to sell a deal on Offa. Like legit. That's easy. Just list it and then let it go. Now, my homework for you guys for tomorrow, and this is something that's super easy to do, okay? Now, some of you guys should already have potential JV partners that you're working with. I think the homework yesterday was for you guys to contact buyers, right? My goal for all of you today, there's only 2 pieces of homework. Number one, when you list your property, run through your checklist. All right. So everybody utilize the checklist. 2 pieces of homework, just 2 only. We're going to use the checklist, per deal that we get. Okay. Number two, I want you guys to execute your JV agreements, whatever it is you guys found yesterday, and start listing those deals on AFA. All right. So technically three. Number one, checklist. Number two, JV contract signed. Number three, listing the deals on AFA. Within the next 24 hours tomorrow, guys, I'm going to open this up for all of us to just join and all of us talk. And guys, at this point, you should be getting feedback from investors, and let's go into these properties, see if we can get one sold. All right. So guys, that's our homework for today. I'm going to pause the recording and open this thing up for Q&A. You guys got 13 more minutes with me, and I got to move on because today's meet the teacher day for my kid. All right. So again, homework number one, checklist. Homework number two, at least one JV contract from somebody. If not, use your own contracts that you have and list your own deals. Number three, list a minimum of 5 properties on AFA. All right, so that's our homework for today. I'm going to pause the recording. This was our dispo breakdown entirety process. This is the exact process that I use. I don't think I missed on anything that I talked about today, and I'm excited. All right, so guys, let's lock in the homework. We're going to email it to everybody along with the copy of the recording and a transcription of today's call, and we'll run it again. All right, so tomorrow, guys, it's open playbook for everybody. We should all have deals sold at this point. Okay, we want to list these properties within the next, I'd say, 5 hours, so we can get results by tomorrow morning when we do this call in the afternoon. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop the recording. Everybody stay for Q&A. Let's rock and roll.